Now, the roar of a motorbike tailed up from below, and the man on the bench bent slightly forward, looking down toward the source of the noise. The mark Scholl saw on the back of his neck made him rigid with tension. It was the blood-red lightning of Krovavaya Molnia, the elite Russian strike force said to be augmented with neural implants. Scholl had feared exactly that when coming to the BB, after the city's data-gathering application tipped him off to the man's presence. Paris's traditionalist soul assured that it was not yet among the ranks of wired European cities, but its urban planners had dipped their toes in the water with passive beacons that tracked and logged the usage of public benches. If a visitor had Bluetooth on his phone, it collected and transmitted all sorts of information about them. Ostensibly, it was to help determine whether a given location was busy or unused, so they could add or remove benches or perhaps improve the area to draw more visitors. Scholl had siphoned the government data onto his own phone for a different reason, monitoring the hill from his hotel room some blocks away. When he noticed the man sitting for over an hour in the 45-degree chill, not budging an inch, he had thought it conspicuous. Bowing to his intuition, he decided to step out for a closer look ahead of Kali's arrival. And thankfully so, he thought. "Engel," he said in hushed German, his words picked up by the sensitive cranial microphone in the stem of his smart glasses. "The house is under surveillance." "As we expected." "Worse. The man wears the blood lightning tattoo. See for yourself." Franz blinked to relay the camera image. "We don't know who sent them. Not Moscow, surely. I hear they've broken free of their shackles." "I've heard the same," she said. "It makes no difference. I'm going in." "Engel, listen to me." The hollow silence of a terminated connection. Scholl frowned. "Ich kann sie nicht aufhalten." I can't stop her. He suddenly flashed on a memory. Kali in the dojo at age 9 with a bamboo training sword in her hand, having left her sensei sprawled on his backside. She was like her grandmother in a great many ways. He would not deny it, just as he would never deny having loved Norma with all his heart, despite her hard-headed, uncompromising nature, and perhaps, in part, because of it. He opened his mouth and inhaled. The cold wind sliced into his throat. "May God watch over you," he said under his breath, and kept walking across the quiet lawn. Kali dismounted from her motorcycle, engaged the steering lock, removed her helmet with a shake of her raven black hair, and locked it to the bike's frame. A Ducati Diavel 1260S black and steel with custom red suspension bars and flourishes, it was parked between two cars just south of the Michel Tagrin stairs. Tall, straight, and athletically lean, Kali was dressed entirely in black, from her riding jacket and fingerless gloves to her leggings and waterproof duck boots. On her wrist was an antique silver compass on a watch band, on her back a scuffed leather satchel, and around her waist a Victorian explorer's belt with a 3-sectioned manriki, a Japanese chain whip, folded tightly into a drawstring pouch. She stood alongside the bike a moment, her dark eyes sweeping the street behind a pair of AI mixed reality smart glasses. The invisible Bluetooth earpiece through which Franz had spoken to her was synced to the glasses. Alone on the sidewalk, she walked a short distance north toward the corner of Rue Edgar Poe, the Glock under her jacket a foreign weight against her ribs, and the handful of extra bullets in her jacket pocket a light but equally unfamiliar cargo. She had carried a firearm only once before in Romania while hunting her former lover for his crimes. The choice Mike Carmody had given her that night in the snow was simple and clear. She could take it and stay at his side, or he would go on without her. "I don't want it," she had told him. "Take it anyway. You trained with one of these for a reason." Kali could still hear his voice in her mind. She had reluctantly accepted the weapon but never used it. With Carmody beside her, there was never any need. Tonight she knew things might be very different. Lucien Navarro's residence was on her left, a 3-story townhouse with a pink limestone facade, a high arched double door, elaborate